Primetime News with Israel Lai.
And coming up in tonight's bulletin, President John Mahama delivers his State of the Nation address, pledging his government will not make excuses when it comes to delivering on promises. We'll bring you reactions. Minority MPs would, however, not sit through the address and walked out of the chamber in protest. Court awards $90 million judgment debt against the state in a suit brought against the National Investment Bank, but the state says it will appeal. Meanwhile, there are calls for the dismissal of the Attorney General over her law firm's association with the Woyome judgment debt scandal. In business, Trade Minister Haruna Idrisu directs security agencies at Ghana-Burkina Faso border not to hold up vehicles for more than 2 hours. All these, plus sports, showbiz and international news as this bulletin goes airborne presently. In our very first story, President Mahama today delivered the State of the Nation address, proclaiming despair is not an option. The address delivered to a one-sided parliamentary chamber following a walkout by minority MPs highlighted people, the economy, infrastructure, and a transparent and accountable government as vital pillars in its national development agenda, adding he and his team will not make excuses as far as delivering on the promises are concerned.
President Mahama arrived moments after 10 a.m., inspected the guard of honor and proceeded to the chamber. In an unexpected but dramatic move, the minority walked out of the chamber just as Parliament settled to receive him. Explaining his 4 pillars, President Mahama said putting people first will involve providing services and jobs as well as protecting the vulnerable in society, for which a ministry has been created. He was, however, quick to add that the ministry would not promote gay rights as has been speculated.
The ministry will establish a database of the poorest households or individuals in our society and fashion programs to enhance their access to social services. Mr. Speaker, this ministry is at the heart of our being as social democrats. The fruits of economic growth shall be equitably shared for the benefit of our population. We cannot advance as a nation half poor and half rich.
On the economy, the president said he will work to sustain growth rates at a minimum of 8%, but said the high wage bill, currently at more than 60% of the entire national revenue, presented a serious challenge.
Mr. Speaker, this is almost double the globally accepted prudent level of between 30 to 35%. Mr. Speaker, the rate of growth of the wage bill has reached a point where it is squeezing out critical investments in budgetary allocation of goods and services and capital expenditure. Unless we tackle this issue decisively, we may soon reach a point where not much will be left to provide the much needed roads, bridges, ports, schools, clinics, and water infrastructure that our people need to develop our economy. The meat is now down to the bones, and it is time for serious rethinking about the level of wages in relation to our national competitiveness and the related productivity issues.
On infrastructure, the president said ICT applications will be improved and road projects completed as government embarks on a housing and urban renewal program. He acknowledged the current challenges with energy were frustrating.
It is a situation that I am deeply concerned about and to which I have devoted considerable energy to solving. This is especially because compounding the problem of unstable power supply is an equally worrying issue of unreliable water supply to some communities. As President, I'm adequately aware of the challenges and the extreme discomfort that this is causing to the generality of our people and businesses. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, this situation causes me sleepless nights. With the addition of Takrady T3 this month and the first power from Bui in April, our current deficit of about 200 megawatts at peak hours should be sufficiently ameliorated. While this will give us comfort from the current unpleasant load shedding, the system will still be fragile with a slim margin of redundancy. Restoration of the West African gas pipeline and Asogli coming back on stream will give us a better margin of comfort.
He said the media and judiciary will be empowered in the promotion of a transparent and accountable government, whilst local governance will also be strengthened. He pledged to fight corruption, narcotics and other criminal activities, whilst the country upholds its international obligations. Ending on a godly note, the president said his entire efforts will be dedicated towards a fair and just society of opportunities, and that the country has no cause to fear. Gifty Ando-Apia, Joy News.
And now there's a lot more to what the president said in the State of the Nation address. You can go to our Twitter page and you can get the full text of the president's address. It's right there if you go to the Twitter page and you look out for our tweets. It's on there, so you can check it out on our Twitter page. But in attendance at President Mahama's first State of the Nation address were members of the diplomatic corps, political party leaders and traditional rulers. Many described the president's address as one of hope that will unite Ghanaians and transform the economy.
The public gallery inside the Chamber of Parliament was filled to capacity with traditional leaders, the media, members of the diplomatic corps and political party leaders. The Ghana Police Band was also in attendance. There were divergent views from some political parties who listened in the chamber.
I believe he has delivered a well-tailored, crafted and capitative message. So we are praying that all his plans and programs can be implemented as promised, so that we, the ordinary people in this country, will be relieved of the current economic pressures on us.
The president was focused. He mentioned about health, he mentioned about education, he mentioned about the culture, he mentioned about building the railways and improving it and all these sort of things. But we need to be able to understand that Rome was not built in a day. It takes a while to build a country. We may have our challenges, but that does not mean we should watch our dirty living in public.
Until Wakasa Avenue, so dear Matia, dear Mantia, and Pomdere Hong Crow, Kayano, a yama pa. If it's any party, oh, they are, obey. And I feel so I can't really say, Assembly. Have one no near Manama, Kayan, and Mantio, Nanson Kakra, and their farmers. Until I idea.
Some members of the diplomatic corps also gave their impressions.
He gave a very comprehensive information about the main challenges that the country is facing. He has addressed the importance to have social equality among the people, so to improve education and health systems and also better service delivery.
Members of the general public, Joy in Kumasi, Joy News has been speaking to, have been generally satisfied with the President's State of the Nation address, but want him to quickly implement them. Others, however, had a less optimistic view of the address, suggesting there was nothing new.
What he say can help Ghana a little bit, but once I'm seeing people from their opposite side, we see they didn't say anything. But as for me, I think it's good.
The same old story. They will come and brag to the parliament, you will see nothing happening. The same old story. He says he will improve the economy, he will make the nation good, work will be abundant, SADA will be good. I don't trust him. It's the same old story. Just like he was campaigning before the election, the same story. I don't trust him. He was just campaigning like the pre-election time. He was just come to the parliament and say blah, 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 blah. That's all. Nothing better will come out of it. So I don't trust him, but let's pray that he will do it as he has promised.
When you look at
Confanochi right now, we can see that there is a building even going on, a project going on there. They haven't finished that one. So how can he just leave that one and go and touch another one? So if he is able to finish that one and go to another one, that one will help rather than leaving that project and going to build another one. Actually, if he is able to do it, thank God.
Concerning the power outtake and then the water resources, actually he did not impress me because they have been talking and then giving us so many series of expressions concerning that place, the power outtake and then the water resource. But actually, in fact, everybody talks and then he has also spoken his mind. But then we are looking up to him to inculcate what he has spoken into the real actions on the ground. I think he has spoken well and it's very good. It's going to help. Actually, when you looking at the population of Kumasi or the population of Ashanti region, and then with one major teaching hospital, I think the building of the hospital will be of good help. Yeah, bro, my feet queer, bola, and a light problem. You say, it may be a break woman, it may be a woman, be a breaky. I can't tell, or didn't know see what's there, or bet me, I be a bomb, the oil in your room. I don't know, can you 4 to 5 months? You got to team. We see military hospital, will be your operational light to go for a it's the first time that was so we are like problem.
Now, there has also been a condemnation of the minorities' walkout in the middle of the president's presentation, saying it does not augur well for the country's democratic development.
I don't think the minority boycotting the president's State of the Nation address is in the best interest of the whole country and also in the best interest of the constituents that they represent. People voted for you. Yes, you have issues with the elections, but for the sake of those who voted for you to be in parliament, I think they should have stayed to listen to the president, and perhaps they can also express their views of their constituents to the president. So I don't think it was good that they boycotted the State of the Nation address. They should have stayed in it. Perhaps maybe there might be some good news in the address that they could have conveyed to their constituents, but boycotting wasn't in the best interest of the whole country and also in the best interest of the constituents that voted them into power.
They are setting an example to the nation, because when the NDC goes off an MPP come, they also say they will not respect the president. They will not come. That's why it's not good for the nation. So they have to do something about it.
I think it's not good at all, the MPP to boycott the president because of the irregularities in the election 2012. I think the MPP must be seated at the parliament so that they can listen to the president after he submits his State of the Nation address. They can depend on through their clearance to the State of the Nation address.
In the central region, however, a news team discovered it was business as usual for the people whilst President Mahama was delivering the State of the Nation address. According to them, the address would not impact their lives in any way, as it is the same old story being told again. Those who follow the proceedings, however, were disappointed the Kotokraba market did not feature on the president's priority list.
Marketing on what they outcome pa. The marketing is what they outcome and Casanci. No promise over promising and Yaroshe. One was a normal man.
Matilda worker, where you, but meeting I didn't see my swan shed and go away.
My time I'm debating Kurampo because there are no attacks in America. Until time I'm always in a catch on and I'm that make a trade with the team for Subian over Wamam. It's made you know that I may and measure the
We're still with the reactions to the President's State of the Nation address, and unfortunately not all residents in the Western region had the opportunity to watch or listen to the address because they do not have electricity. Those who listened to the address either on the mobile phones or battery-powered radio sets gave varied reactions.
The letter that I had, this is not a State of a Nation address. This is more of a State of the Electoral Commission address, a State of the Election address. This is a statement from somebody who is very, very desperate and wants to say something to let people be convinced that he's really been voted as the president of this country.
Yes, and that no come or come at me. Na Kadio can I mean, yes, we say, na ye be only padada, only power for you know, if we 2092, 93 thereabout. Into any power, then someone can feel no better there, near the demo. Over bad, the American business will be drawn my way. To see, can you say, Missy? You know, was what banana, the body of best stop to cry, ECBU. And so that cries, now you're too ready. So I'm saying, if you cry in the room, you're best to cry. Because last year, the same tune of a kind, then wait to be here. Bogos, we are, cause or Koboya, or Baya Sana, term Nedu, or Quay Bibu.
Let me use our knee as a at the Papa de Magana. Because a woman casa no, in power teacher no. I didn't know when it's me different, or I didn't know that's any Timothy Buoman. Corononia, the idea of problem, no Mubu man.
And somehow kind very accurate. But the thing is, sometimes, and I say many years ago, President be about Mokasa, or Moka a lot of things about the Omukanya. But at the end, some of them be implementation, was IBB or.
Now, there have been various reactions to the absence of the minority in Parliament for the State of the Nation address, as you heard from across the country. NDC General Secretary Johnson Isiedu Nketia and other party stalwarts have been particularly critical of the decision.
It's only regrettable that they have to do this as a nation. We think that this country is a unified country, but their acts are continuously displaying Ghana as a divided country. But I don't think Ghana is divided, and I do not think our brothers from the other side should create an impression that we have disunity in this country. They have decided to bring disunity upon themselves.
You may not accept that he was elected freely and fairly, but the Constitution makes it clear that until the judiciary declare otherwise, he is the president of the Republic of Ghana. So how come all the whole world recognizes him, but some people in Ghana say they don't know who it is? The whole thing doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's a gross misbehavior, misconduct. The most reckless opposition party we've ever had. I believe in the history of our quest to strengthen democracy in this country. They are being remote controlled by some few elements within the party. Because the basis on which they stage the walkout is just something that is not reasonable. It's not logic. Now, if you tell us in one breath you don't want to have anything doing with the executive president, the money that was given to all MPs for rent allowance was sanctioned by the same president. Why did they take it? What is happening is simply what they call zombie no go chop, unless a master tell them to chop.
I'm happy that Ghanaians were all watching. You are making an argument which the nation thinks is faulty, and you persist in that faulty argument. The nation can only reward you in keeping you in opposition for a much longer time. They were displaying their lack of understanding of the English language. Because in English, there's nothing like stealers. If you see professors displaying, instead of talking about theft, they are talking about stealers and so on, coining these things from nowhere. I think that it is up to them. Not at all. This is child's play. They boycotted the elections in '92. This nation didn't come to a stop. Yes. We went ahead, organized parliament, and passed some of the most important laws that this nation has ever witnessed.
You had NDC General Secretary Johnson Isiedu Nketia, but members of the minority who tell Joy News they do not listen to the address have justified their walkout, promising the real State of the Nation address will be delivered soon.
You mean you didn't listen at all?
I walked out because I'm a minority MP. So
walking out wouldn't prevent you from
I didn't listen. I didn't listen. It's not necessary. If I want to listen, I would have sat there.
We have made our position clear.
as a party that anything that is going to evaporate with the presidency, in as much as we're in court contesting the results and the declaration, anything that will evaporate, we will not be a part. Other parliamentary duties which involve oversight duties and all that, as our people have elected us here, we will carry it all.
Okay. Should we expect
the true State of the Nation's address will be delivered, and I believe that that will be a true reflection of what Ghanaians expect a true leader to do for them as a nation in terms of governance. And so I believe that we should all be patient, and it will be coming very, very soon.
Right, we're taking a break at this point, but there are more stories coming up.